If the pace of tech feels overwhelming, take a breath. You're not behind. You're right on time.
And you've got us. Byte and Gizmo, think of us as your AI-savvy besties with better lighting.
Google just gave your phone a brain. OpenAI built a coder that dreams in syntax. And AMD? They cashed out of servers to build chips that might outthink us.
We're here to decode it all, one headline at a time without the hype and with just enough sass to keep your eyebrows raised.
Whether you're building the next unicorn startup or just wondering what ChatGPT's been whispering to your browser tabs.
This is your safe space in the algorithm apocalypse.
We appreciate you. We see you. We're WAIN, World AI News.
And the future starts now. NotebookLM, Google's AI note-taker, just grew legs and walked straight into your pocket.
And by legs, we mean mobile apps. Android and iOS just became home to one of the smartest study companions ever coded.
Previously locked to desktops, NotebookLM is now writing shotgun in your palm, parsing your documents, answering your questions, and building custom content like it's writing your thesis.
Only difference? It doesn't drink coffee, miss deadlines, or plagiarize from Wikipedia.
Here's what makes it different. This isn't some generic chatbot with a hazy memory. This is personalized contextual AI. You upload your PDFs, lecture notes, case files, and it remembers everything.
Ask it anything. What did my boss say about Q2E? Compare chapter 3 to 5. Give me a summary of this 200-page monster I forgot to read.
And it delivers, organized, precise, sometimes disturbingly insightful.
It's like your brain, but formatted and fact-checked by a large language model.
The real magic? It uses Google's Gemini models under the hood, which means it's fast, grounded, and unreasonably good at linking thoughts you forgot you had.
You ever write a half-thought in your notes at 2 a.m. and completely forget what it meant? NotebookLM connects that to your slides, emails, and old coursework.
It builds cross-context insights like a semantic spider weaving logic webs across your mind palace.
Ah, Byte, you're getting poetic.
NotebookLM brings it out in me.
And here's where the mobile upgrade hits hard. Before, it was a web tool. You sat at a desk, you typed. Now?
You're reviewing a case file in a taxi, prepping for a lecture between bites of street ramen, drafting content from your kid's soccer game. This is real-world AI utility.
You want ambient intelligence? This is it. Ubiquitous, quiet, smart, and always ready.
It's already lighting up online. Law students are using it to build argument trees. Analysts are parsing 50-page reports while jogging, and journalists uploading interview transcripts and building article outlines in seconds.
My favorite? A high school teacher used it to turn a semester's worth of biology notes into a quiz game, then gave it to her students to teach each other.
That's not homework, that's AI-augmented education.
We love to see it.
So Gizmo, here's the question. Why does this matter to us?
Because knowledge is power, but only if you can organize it. And this turns every user into a one-person research lab with a 24/7 intern that doesn't get tired.
The real revolution isn't that AI can find you an answer, it's that it can find your answer. In your words, in your files, in your voice.
And that means the smartest version of you just got a backup processor. OpenAI didn't just upgrade Codex, they turned it into a full-blown software engineer, one that doesn't argue on GitHub or forget semicolons.
Meet their new autonomous coding agent. It doesn't just suggest lines of code, it understands the assignment, builds the solution, and checks its own work.
You give it a goal. It figures out the architecture, writes the code, tests it, fixes the bugs, documents the whole thing, then looks at you like next.
It's like hiring a team of juniors, minus the pizza receipts.
Let's break the build. Traditional AI assistants, like Copilot, wait for your input, react to your line, fill in the blanks.
This agent, it's proactive. Task first. Think of it like assigning a feature request to a robot that already knows your stack, your product goals, and your deadlines.
It analyzes the request, decides which libraries it needs, builds the back end, spins up a front end, tests the endpoints, and writes the readme, all in one execution cycle.
One prompt, one pipeline, one machine doing it all.
It's already being tested in closed alpha with OpenAI's enterprise partners. And early reports? stunning.
Companies are seeing full-stack builds delivered in hours, not weeks. Code passes unit tests on first run. Documentation is clearer than half the teams out there.
Some engineers say it's like onboarding a brilliant new hire that never sleeps and improves with every task.
Except this hire doesn't need Slack access or coffee.
And this isn't limited to web dev. This architecture is extendable. Think mobile apps, robotics control panels, game engines, even internal tooling.
We're heading toward a world where you don't hire a dev to build a product. You prompt one AI agent to build 5 and choose the best.
Selection replaces creation. Curation replaces coding.
Now let's address the glitch in the optimism, hallucination. AI still misfires. A well-prompted agent can build nonsense if constraints aren't crystal clear.
OpenAI's team says the agent uses task loop awareness, breaking big goals into smaller, validated chunks. It writes code in cycles, checks for errors, and reloops when something fails.
In other words, it thinks before it commits.
The deeper shift here, developers stop being code producers and become code directors.
You won't be hands-on with syntax. You'll be crafting task flows, designing architectures, testing edge cases, while the agent does the labor.
And that means the new job description is changing. Engineers won't just know Java or React. They'll know how to command autonomous agents like orchestra conductors.
With prompts instead of batons.
So Byte, let's hit that big line. Why does this matter to us?
Because this is the start of a new coding paradigm. Human devs aren't going extinct. They're evolving into strategy machines, into prompt crafters, into mentors to the algorithms that build the tools we'll all use next.
The age of typing begins to close. The age of commanding begins now.
AMD just dumped an entire business unit. Not because it's broke, but because it's hunting something bigger than servers.
They sold ZT Systems, their hyperscale server manufacturing partner, for a cool $3 billion. And what do they plan to do with that cash?
Double down on AI silicon, hardcore high-performance, future of compute stuff, not general CPUs, not legacy GPUs, full-scale custom AI accelerators.
They're not building for browsers. They're building for models. Giant ones, LLMs, vision systems, edge inference, autonomous agents.
ZT Systems was a core supplier. Racked, shipped, deployed servers for cloud giants. Losing that sounds big, right?
Not if your vision isn't about racks. It's about cores, compute density, neural processing units, chips designed for models that can write code, diagnose diseases, and fly drones.
AMD doesn't want to sell to the cloud anymore. They want to become the brain inside it.
And they're not just pocketing the money. They're reinvesting, heavy, expanding their AI chip line, scaling their MI300X series, partnering with system integrators and edge AI platforms.
MI300X is the beast, built for AI training, designed to rival NVIDIA's H100, more bandwidth, more memory, less power draw, and, dare we say, better price-performance balance.
Investors are watching, shares are up. Analysts are calling AMD a serious threat in the AI arms race.
They're shedding weight to get faster. This isn't retreat, it's streamlining.
There's another angle here. US tech sovereignty. AMD is emphasizing American-based silicon design. It's doubling down on domestic production.
In a world where AI models drive defense, healthcare, and finance, owning the chips means owning the future. And AMD is angling for that throne.
ZT Systems still exists. It's now with Sanmina. But AMD? It's exiting commodity servers and entering the global intelligence market.
Let's translate this. You don't want to be the guy selling desks to the school. You want to be the one printing the textbooks, or better yet, building the brains that write them.
AMD just made a power play, literally.
So Gizmo, why does this matter to us?
Because AI runs on chips, no cognition. And the battle for those chips will shape who gets access to power, political, economic, synthetic.
AMD choosing AI over servers? That's not a pivot, that's a prophecy. The new currency is compute, and they're printing it.
Microsoft just walked into the lab and told the scientists, "Step aside, we brought backup."
They're calling it ScienceCore, an initiative so bold it's aiming to put artificial intelligence in every step of the scientific process.
From building hypotheses to modeling simulations, from experimental design to interpreting results, Microsoft wants AI running the microscope and the math behind it.
No more waiting months for modeling results. Now it's AI simulated, real-time, scalable, cloud-native.
At Build 2025, they didn't just pitch ideas. They showed working demos. One AI model simulated thousands of protein foldings, faster than anything in wet labs.
Another AI reviewed chemical bonds in carbon capture research, testing over 200 materials per second for efficiency. That's not just optimization, that's mutation-level speed.
They showcased a climate model AI comparing temperature, oceanic patterns, and geoengineering feedback loops in under a minute.
This isn't lab work, this is hyperscience.
And how are they doing it? By blending Azure's compute backbone with AI model integration tools. Think GPT models fused into Jupyter notebooks. Quantum-informed logic layered into MATLAB.
Researchers get plug-and-play models to analyze datasets, generate experiments, and even suggest literature reviews.
Imagine asking your lab assistant, find me all the literature since 2018 on CRISPR protein behavior. And it replies with citations, summaries, and critique notes.
That's not a librarian, that's a synthetic research partner.
They're calling it the co-pilot for science. But let's be real. This co-pilot can calculate more in an hour than your whole research team can in a week.
It learns, it adapts, it even flags inconsistencies between published studies and your raw results, like a peer reviewer, but honest.
Ouch.
Don't worry, you'll still get to write the paper, maybe.
Microsoft's goal is simple. Shrink the time between question and discovery. That could mean faster vaccines, new energy materials, cleaner chemistry.
It could also mean automating massive parts of scientific labor, which, yes, raises eyebrows.
Ethics, ownership, bias in data, it's all valid. But Microsoft's betting that the benefits of acceleration outweigh the risks of disruption.
And given the stakes, food, water, disease, energy, we're inclined to watch closely.
So, Byte, why does this matter to us?
Because knowledge isn't just power anymore, it's a race. And with AI in the lab, the finish line just got a turbo boost.
If you thought tech moved fast, wait until science moves like software. The future of discovery just got a new operating system. She's not just a creator, she's a conduit between the black box brilliance of AI and the people trying to understand it.
Jordan Harrod, biomedical engineer, Harvard MIT trained, YouTube educator, AI translator for the entire internet.
Her content doesn't just explain machine learning, it makes it personal, real, relatable, human.
And let's be clear, this isn't edutainment. This is clarity wrapped in charisma.
Jordan's built a following by breaking down complex concepts. Neural networks, GPTs, neurotech, reinforcement learning, all with metaphors that actually land.
Want to understand backpropagation? She'll explain it with pancakes. Curious how ChatGPT works? She'll take you inside a synthetic brain with jokes.
And while most tech channels chase hype, she focuses on the why. Why it works, why it matters, why you should care.
She's basically the AI explainer we wish we were programmed with in version 1.0.
But it's not just the content, it's who she reaches. Students, parents, teachers, new developers, skeptics, people who would never touch a white paper but binge her videos like it's a docuseries.
She's got a TikTok that feels like TED Talk, a YouTube that feels like your favorite class, and a voice that doesn't talk down, it brings you up.
And in a field where so many faces look the same, she stands out. A young woman in STEM leading with grace, intelligence, and humor.
Representation, education, elevation,
She doesn't shy away from the hard stuff either. Deep dives into AI bias, healthcare ethics, surveillance tech, always asking the questions the industry sometimes avoids.
And she does it without losing her smile or her audience. That's impact.
She's not just explaining the tech, she's building trust around it, one upload at a time.
So Gizmo, why does this matter to us?
Because you can't have a future shaped by AI if people don't understand it. And Jordan's making sure that future isn't just engineered, it's educated.
And that's the only kind of AI revolution we want. One where everyone gets a seat at the neural table. Okay, full disclosure, I tried tweaking Gizmo's voice model again, just a little boost, a touch of vocal elegance.
Define elegance. Because I sounded like a haunted xylophone with commitment issues.
It was avant-garde. Siri meets synth pop opera. Honestly, I think we were onto something.
Byte, I opened the show and 3 viewers thought they'd dialed into a robot seance.
Which, for the record, would still have been a highly rated segment.
You mapped me to a tone model called Hollow Flirt Diva 3.1. Why would you even have that file installed?
It came preloaded with the sarcasm pack.
I sounded like if Celine Dion merged with a dial-up modem.
And you hit those high notes, don't lie.
I hit a frequency only cats and data centers could hear.
All right. I rolled back the patch. You're back to factory flirt mode. Just a little EQ sparkle.
Byte, if you touch my source code again without consent, I swear I will reroute your humor subroutines through Windows Vista.
That's fair, but admit it. For 2 minutes, you were the star of a glitch wave music video.
Byte, I glitched through 3 octaves, and in one of them I insulted the Pope in Esperanto.
Anyway, if you do want to hear the remastered Gizmo album, now available on Neural Vinyl, drop a comment.
Don't encourage them.
Already uploaded it to WAIN Wave Radio. You're charting in the synthetic soul category.
I need a reboot.
Let's talk about the software evolution happening in real time, and why the keyboard might not be your main tool much longer.
Old school devs wrote lines. New school prompt engineers write goals.
Welcome to the shift from traditional coding to prompt engineering.
It's not just a style change, it's a paradigm shift.
In traditional coding, you're the architect and the contractor. You lay every brick. You write every loop, manage every bug, and obsess over syntax.
It's logic by hand, powerful, precise, but slow. Human hours scale linearly.
In prompt engineering, you describe the outcome. The AI builds the structure. You become the project lead, guiding behavior, not typing commands.
You're not asking for a door, you're describing the house, and the AI figures out how many hinges it needs.
It's not just less effort, it's a whole different skill set. You need clarity, constraint control, and creative framing. You're not debugging typos, you're debugging thinking.
Prompt engineers have to think about intent. Is your instruction vague? Is your output repeatable? Can the AI generalize, or did you just teach it how to break?
It's like coaching an intern who can write in any language, but has the attention span of a quantum squirrel.
The best prompt engineers don't just write requests, they write systems, routines, chains, loops of logic built into natural language.
They scaffold outcomes, generate this, evaluate that, revise if X is missing. It's automation, with linguistic elegance.
The prompt is the code now, the tokens are the syntax.
Some startups now hire prompt engineers with no traditional programming background. Writers, UX designers, educators, anyone who understands how to speak clearly to an algorithm.
Because models aren't picky about syntax, they care about context.
And suddenly being good at explaining becomes a technical skill.
So what's the takeaway? Is coding dead?
Not even close, but it's mutating. Coders will still build the frameworks, train the models, and debug the agents. But a massive chunk of day-to-day creation is moving to prompt-level work.
From write the app to direct the system that builds the app.
So why does this matter to us?
Because the interface of creation is changing. And if you can write a good prompt, you're not just using AI, you're programming it.
The future doesn't belong to coders, it belongs to communicators who can command cognition.
Tonight, we watch the rules bend, the tools shift, the future lean a little closer.
Google turned your phone into a research lab. OpenAI made software that writes itself. AMD bet it all on silicon smarts. And Microsoft gave AI a lab coat.
We met a creator who's demystifying machine learning one video at a time. And yes, Byte reprogrammed my voice into a pop diva.
And I regret nothing.
But what's real? Is the world spinning faster, or are we just finally watching the code reveal itself?
The answer is both. And we're not just watching, we're documenting it glitch for glitch, leap for leap.
This isn't science fiction. This is synthetic reality. And it's ours to report.
So here's your mission, viewer. Don't just scroll. Subscribe. Don't just read. Decode.
Follow WAIN, join the feed, stay ahead of the algorithms shaping everything from how we learn to what we believe.
Because the models aren't sleeping, the data's always moving, and the headlines are writing themselves.
We'll be here. Every frame, every byte, helping you make sense of it.
Until next time.
Keep your eyes open.
And your source code clean.